Hello. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Westdrum here, back with another video, and as you guys can see, I finally got a new microphone, so let me know down in the comments below if you guys like it, if you guys enjoy it. But that reminds me, 80% of you guys are not subscribed to my channel. How is that even possible? That means only 1 of every 5 of the people that watches my videos actually subscribe to my content. Are you serious, guys? All you guys gotta do is go down below and hit the red subscribe button. It's that simple, so please do it. We're basically gaining around 1,000 subscribers a day right now, and we could grow even faster if you guys just went down below and subscribed. Anyway, today we are going to be playing the old 1v1.LOL versions. That means the first ever version of 1v1.LOL, and even before it was called 1v1.LOL, just build the original version. Like, it was not even released publicly. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, but I think it's time to hop right into it. So as you guys can see, I am on the official site 1v1.LOL, the one we all know and love, but we are going to be playing the old version today, so we're actually going to have to type in a different URL. For the very first version of the game, it wasn't even called 1v1.LOL at this point, and it wasn't even called justbuild.lol at this point. It was called justbuild.xyz. Now, this is a very old site. It's actually more of a blog of their original creations and whatnot, but if you scroll down, there is a button that says play now free, and if we click this button, it brings us to a page where it loads up in Unity, and it is called Just Build, but this isn't even published on the justbuild.lol site. This is the justbuild.lol site. This is justbuild.xyz. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in full screen. Now I want you guys to look at one thing. So if we click P for settings, this is where we're actually going to be able to set up our keybinds. And honestly, this is pretty high quality keybind settings. Like, I think it's a little bit higher quality than it was back then. Now I think on the official site, we have a really good layout and a really good customization. But back then, when it was like the first ever version of 1v1.LOL, this might have been a better... Dang, I just had a brain fart. This was definitely like a better way of setting up your keybinds because it was all right in front of you and it looked pretty simple to set up. So for floor, it says 2. No, we want that to be X. Let's replace that with X. Oh, my wall. I don't know if it's minus or plus. Okay, so here we got my keybinds correct, and oh my, it is kind of hard to build like this. And one thing I want to point out is I don't know if there's actually supposed to be audio here. I seriously can't hear anything. I don't know if it's just my headset. No, my headset's set up correctly. I seriously can't hear anything. So even though you can't hear anything, this was the first ever build of 1v1.LOL, and it actually is having a little bit of a hard time registering certain times when I try and build. You guys see that? It's a little bit delayed compared to the builds we have now. It's definitely pretty hard. And is there jump delay? Oh, no, there is not. You can jump, like, you can even double jump at some points.
That's crazy.
You can't double jump in 1v1.LOL, but you can sort of double jump here. I can't believe this thing had double jumping. Imagine if that was still in the game for 1v1.LOL. You would see people doing like 290s every second. Let's go ahead and try the pyramids. Wait,
why is there a hole in the pyramid? Wait, what the heck is this? Alright.
I mean, of course, this is a very early version, but like, imagine you had a gun, you could shoot someone through it if they were crouching inside of the pyramid. Is there even a crouch keybind? I doubt it, but let's see. Yeah, I don't really see a crouch keybind. That's a rip in the chat. But the ramp overall looks good. The wall looks good, and the floor looks pretty normal. I guess this was more of like a graph-based build system because of the square units that it used to make sure it was measured out correctly. And I bet you if I trap myself in a box, there's no way to get out unless I were to hit M, and that's supposed to destroy all builds. Wait, oh, that just destroys the builds around you. Wait, that's actually really cool. That's insane. That's how you get out of the builds. That's actually really cool concept. Besides like the one now where you can actually destroy all the builds, this is still pretty cool. Maybe I can knock out all the builds with this keybind and make every build fall. Is that true? Nope, they're just staying in the air. That was one of the bugs with 1v1.LOL at a time, but now it is fixed, which is very good. But yeah, there's not much else we can really do in this version that I see. I mean, there's a sprint button, which we've already been using auto run, so it's not really a big deal for us. There is an edit keybind. I can set that to like G, and we can try that out, and it does absolutely nothing. I guess you could not edit this early into the version of Just Build. I guess they were still trying to add that, and I mean, it's good that they didn't keep continuing it on here because they have a 1v1.LOL now, which is way more popular than this. But yeah, I really like this. They have all sorts of settings in here. I think they're all in the main game as well. It just looks different over on this website. Oh, and they do have a destroy all builds button, so let's click that and then look up all those builds are destroyed. So they did have a destroy all builds button in this game before they introduced it to 1v1.LOL, which is interesting because I feel like people asked for that for a pretty long time, and well, they finally did it. It's not a bad thing. It's just interesting to know they had it in this version the entire time, and they might have thought of using this type of version to remove all the builds, and they might have not. But anyway, I think this is kind of boring for the most part, since it's just building. It's basically the just build, or it's just free building, but a little bit more boring because it's not the actual 1v1.LOL. So now we are going to play the original 1v1.LOL. So I literally just guessed the website link, and it's 1v1.LOL/v1.html. I literally just guessed that. I didn't think it would actually work, and it did. So as you guys can see, I've already pretty much been on this site. I set my region to US 0.12.12.7, and all they had back then was 1v1 and party game mode, which is crazy to think about how far they've come. Like this compared to the new website, just look at this real quick. You have all these buttons. You have competitive, you have an Apple version and a Google Play version, you have a player count up here, more socials, and then it's so bland here, but I love how far the game has actually come. So now we're actually gonna have to invite somebody to play this with, because there's literally no way we're gonna queue up with somebody on the very old version. Okay, so I just told one of my friends to queue up 1v1 right now, so hopefully we get in a game mode with him. And the queue thing is still the same. The circle is the same as it was way back then. Oh, and we got in a game, and it does not even say his name. What is this building? Okay, the building is so scuffed. Look at this. And wait, you actually have 200 HP. And why is he trying so hard against me? I'm trying to tell my viewers what's new, and he's just straight after me. Okay, so it looks like we have a sweat on our hands, everyone. This is not too good. And what is this building? Are you kidding? I just realized one thing. If you scope in this game mode, look at how weird that looks. Oh my god, look at this building. It's like my character is glitching through. Oh, this is so disgusting. And look, if I zoom in, the zooming in with the guns is way worse than it is. Or way worse than it is now. It's really bad. Oh my god, I feel like I'm playing on a wonky version of the game. And I guess I won? I don't know. So now we are going to be queuing up into a party game mode, and I want to point out the old UI. So it is very similar to what we have now. Of course, there was a lot less to work with, and actually, it says there's traps right here. Are there actually traps in the first ever version? Because we no longer have traps. They were removed probably a few months ago at this point, and now it looks like we're able to use traps now, which is kind of weird. Okay, and party mode is not working. I'm pretty sure it's because of it's like really outdated, and the party system really wouldn't work with the new mechanics that we have now. It does look very similar, and it works pretty much the exact same way, but I think it's just way too outdated to support that. So here we are. We're gonna queue into another 1v1. I've asked him not to shoot me so I can showcase like really how these mechanics work. So let's see. If I zoom in with a shotgun, it looks so much weirder. Like it's at a different angle than it is now, and I don't think it's for like the better. This just looks super weird. Like imagine you were in a build fight with somebody and then you had to turn and shoot. Like look how wobbly the aim is. It's just really bad. And then you could actually use traps like you weren't even able to now, but you were able to back then. That is crazy. So there actually are traps now. Can you get hit by your own trap? Okay, that was pretty dumb to ask, but you have to question everything. So all the builds are basically the same as they are now, but I have to say the camera movement is a little bit off. There's no longer traps, which is definitely... Wait, go in the trap. Go. What? The traps don't even work anymore. Wait. The traps don't even work. But now we have health and shield, and instead this had just 200 health, which there's not really much of a difference there. There's no really like heals or shields in the game. So there really wasn't a point of adding 100. Let me know in the comments below if they should add like med kits or shields, like a one-time use sort of thing. I think that would be a pretty cool concept for the game. But yeah, this is the very old version. Like, look at that. Me trying to shoot is just awful with this, like with the zoom in feature. It's really bad. And then this UI, I think they just made it so this was a bit more transparent than just a gray screen, which I really like. But yeah, this was the very first version of 1v1.LOL, and as I showcased earlier, that was the very first version of JustBuild.LOL that I showcased back then. But yes, these are the very two most oldest versions of JustBuild and 1v1.LOL. I don't really think I need to show you guys JustBuild.LOL. Of course, that game came before this one, but we're talking about the oldest version of 1v1.LOL here. and I wanted to showcase how it like originated and then the very first version of the actual game. And honestly, I could say that it's changed for the better, and all of you guys should say that too, because this, I don't really know about this anymore. And one last thing before we end off this video, the craziest part is I joined, I think, on V2 or V3 of the game. Like, I never actually played V1 when it officially came out. When I made my sponsored video probably like 6 months ago at this point, I never really played this version, so it's cool to see what it was like even before I started playing. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. I seriously enjoyed going back and looking at the oldest versions of 1v1.lol. Let me know what I can do next down below in the comments. I may choose your idea. But yeah, ending out, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.